Jai Jagannath. Friends, this is Vasudev Panda. Welcome to Master English. पहले 2 marks. 2 marks ଟିକେ ଲେଟ୍ ହେଇଗଲା ଦବା ପାଇଁ ବଟ୍ ଷ୍ଟିଲ୍ 2 marks ପ୍ରପର ସିଲେକ୍ସନ ଯୋଉଟା ଆଗରୁ ତମକୁ ଦିଆ ହେଇଥିଲା ଯୋଉଟା ଇଣ୍ଟରନାଲ ପାଇଁ ମଧ୍ୟ ବେସ୍ କରିକି ଦିଆ ହେଇଥିଲା ବଟ୍ ଏବେ ଆର୍ଟ ସାଇନ୍ସ କମର୍ସ ପିଲାଙ୍କ ପାଇଁ ଯୋଉ କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚିନ୍ ଆସନ୍ତା ପରୀକ୍ଷାରେ 100% ଆସିବ ଯେତିକି ପ୍ରଶ୍ନ ଯେହେତୁ ସମସ୍ତଙ୍କ ପାଇଁ ଦିଆଯାଇଛି ଆର୍ଟ ସାଇନ୍ସ କମର୍ସ ପିଲାଙ୍କ ପାଇଁ ତେଣୁ କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚିନ୍ ଟିକେ ଅଧିକା 50ଟା କ୍ୱେଶ୍ଚିନ୍ ଅଛି एंड ए भितरू 110% ଆସିବ ପିଲେ 110% ଆସିବ तो वीडियो को जल्द से जल्द शेयर करके लाइक कर दवा तो वन आफ्टर अनदर क्वेश्चन प्रथम प्रश्न होची हु वाज डॉक्टर वेल्डन व्हाई वाज चर्चिल ऑब्लाइक टू हिम ऑन एग्जामिनेशन चैप्टर 2 द्वितीय प्रश्न आला व्हाट आर द टू डिफरेंट कस्टम्स ऑफ कलिंग द रोल एट इटन एंड एट हारो तृतीय प्रश्न आला व्हाट डिड द क्लेवर बॉयज लर्न एट हारो हाउ डिड दे साइन Question number 4. Why was Churchill biased in favor of boys learning English language? Question number 5. How did Churchill win a prize while studying at Harrow? Question number 6. How did the boys enjoy their time at the swimming bath? Question number 6. Which were the favorite subject of Churchill? Question number 7. What subject were dearest to the examiner? Question number 8. What reason does Churchill give for his not doing well in the examination? And next question, what was Churchill's impression on Mr. Somerville? ये थिला on examination रो question. Next आइला the portrait of a lady. The portrait of a lady. What does Khushbant Singh say about his grandfather? This is the important chapter. How did grandmother appear? Next question. परवर्ती प्रश्न. What was a turning point in the writer's and friendship with his grandmother? Next question. What made the grandmother distressed? परवर्ती प्रश्न आला व्हाट वाज ग्रैंडमदर्स व्यू ऑन म्यूजिक परवर्ती प्रश्न व्हाट वाज पॉसिबली द लास्ट साइन ऑफ फिजिकल कंटैक्ट बिटवीन द राइटर एंड हिज ग्रैंडमदर नेक्स्ट हाउ डिड ग्रैंडमदर बिहेव बिफोर हर डेथ परवर्ती प्रश्न आला हाउ डिड द स्पैरोज रिएक्ट व्हेन द ऑथर्स ग्रैंडमदर डाइड नेक्स्ट व्हाट वाज द ग्रैंडमदर्स routine in the village. परवर्ती प्रश्न अछि what were the grandmother's happiest moment on the first day of his arrival? How long the grandmother had spent with them? Next question, what was absurd and undignified about the grandmother? परवर्ती प्रश्न what lesson did the writer learn from the village priest? Next question, what are the grandmother's behavior when she saw the writers off at the station? Next chapter la the magic of teamwork. Magic of teamwork. What do we lack severely? What do we lack severely? परवर्ती प्रश्न what is crab mentality? How does it harm our progress? Next question, how does our cultural background affect leadership qualities? परवर्ती प्रश्न आला what are the qualities to be a good team player? Next question, what is split level consciousness? How is it dangerous for a good team? परवर्ती प्रश्न how do diversifying task help a team player? Next रहिला बेले what are the fundamental issues for the success of a team? परवर्ती प्रश्न आला what is impossible in India according to the writer's view? परवर्ती प्रश्न what should the member of a team learn from effective teamwork? Next, what does everyone need to do in true teamwork? Next, what does the author mean by a hidden agenda? Does it affect teamwork? परवर्ती प्रश्न who is a good team player? ये थिला prose section. देखिबा poetry section. What happened when the sparrows started chirruping? Ballad of Peter Gilligan. Who opened the door? What did she say with surprise? Next, why was the night been described as silent and peaceful? Next question होची whom God sent to the sick man's house? Next question, why was the father of Seth? ये थिला Ballad of Peter Gilligan. परवर्ती क्वेश्चन अछि एसएम ऑफ लाइफ रो जेहेतु आर्ट साइंस कॉमर्स समस्त पिलांक पई एटा अछि तेणु बहुत Okay, now it's okay. Sound आसुची एबे साउंड आसिला एबे 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 साईराम ओके मझिरे टिके गोटे मिनिट पाई कटि गला नहीं ओके नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन होची टेलीविजन रू व्हाई डज द स्पीकर कॉल टेलीविजन एन इडियोटिक थिंग नेक्स्ट रहिला हाउ डू चिल्ड्रन बिहेव व्हाइल स्टेरिंग एट टेलीविजन स्क्रीन नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन ला हाउ डज टीवी कीप चिल्ड्रन स्टिल हाउ डज टीवी कीप चिल्ड्रन स्टिल परवर्ती प्रश्न होला हाउ डज टेलीविजन मेक अ चाइल्ड ब्लाइंड नेक्स्ट what were the poets what did the poets watch in every house परवर्ती प्रश्न why do parents let their children watch tv तापर आइला पिले money madness so how was money made us cruel next how do the people allow a man without money to survive परवर्ती प्रश्न why must we have so money why must we have so money next question होची what according to the speaker should be free परवर्ती प्रश्न what does the poet D.H. Lawrence say we must regain our sanity about money why does the poet say so next question what does the poet Lawrence doubt next what are we really afraid of money or money made men परवर्ती प्रश्न how do money made men treat the men without money next what kind of feeling does money create within us next why that is repeated in the poem ये थिला तमरा पोएम सेक्टर गला प्रोज सेक्टर गला पोएम सेक्टर वर्तमान देखिबा स्टोरी सेक्टर पे गलत मिस्ट्री ऑफ द मिसिंग कैप प्रथम so what ideas do you get about Sri Maharana in the story first question second question who was the chairman of the reception committee what did he do for the welcome of the minister next question how did Sri Maharana entertain the minister and his supporters next question, Lala. What is the atmosphere like when the minister climbed the stage? And last question of Mystery of the Missing Cave is what impression of Sri Marana do you get from the story? Next, elaborate the monkey spa. The monkey spa. Who is Mr. Morish? How does he enters the room of voids? Next, what was the what is the speciality about the monkey spa? Next, what did Morris do to the monkey spa after telling its history? Next, how did Morris warn Mr. White against using the monkey spa? Parvati Prasnala, why did Mrs. White request her husband to convey his second wish? Parvati Prasna, why did Morris disappear? Disapprove selling the monkey spa. Next, why did Mr. White wish for his son's death again with his last wish in the story? My mother, my mother. How much did Charlie's father earn? What did he do with his earning? Next question. When and how did Charlie's father die? How did Charlie's mother manage the family after she was separated from her husband? परवर्ती प्रश्न होची हाउ वाज चार्लिस टेकन onto the stage at Aldershot. परवर्ती प्रश्न how did the audience respect to Charles respond to Charles imitating his brother's voice. परवर्ती प्रश्न why did Charles' mother turn to religion. And next question, give a brief description of the Bobdebilians. Last chapter hochi stay hungry, stay foolish. Stay hungry, stay foolish. Important chapter science pilangu bhai. Who was Steve Jobs' biological mother? Next. Who adopted Steve Jobs and how? Next. How did Steve manage with accommodation and food while in college? Next. How did Steve manage with, how did calligraphy learning help Steve? परवर्ती प्रश्न हला at what age was Steve distinguished from Apple? Next question, what made Steve begin his new company? Next question, what quotation had created an impression on Steve? Next question, how did Jobs react to his dismissal from Apple? Next, give a brief account on Steve's view on death. And the last but not the least, what happened when board of directors maintain a distance from the author? तो ये थिला 2 marks complete selection art science commerce ए भितरु आर्ट साइंस कमर्स सब पिलांकर क्वेश्चन एतिकिरु ही आसीबो बुझेला एतिकिरे ही आसीबो ए या बाहरु कोनोसी गोटे प्रश्न भी आसीबो नाही 100% ग्यारंटी नेक्स्ट क्लास रिपोर्ट राइटिंग ऊपर करिबा रिपोर्ट राइटिंग ऊपर नेक्स्ट क्लास हबो ठीक अछि देखा हबो परवर्ती वीडियो रे बाय बाय टेक केयर जय जगन्नाथ प्राइस ऑफ पोल्यूशन रो सिलेक्शन क्वेश्चन ऑलरेडी राहुल दिया है बुझेला प्राइस ऑफ पोल्यूशन रो माने 37टा सिलेक्शन क्वेश्चन दिया है चैनल पेज को जाई के देखो सी यू इन द नेक्स्ट क्लास बाय बाय